The Secretary of Homeland Security is comparing the situation at the southern border to a Cat 5 hurricane disaster. Kirstjen Nielsen says that means possibly shutting down the southern border or sending in troops to stop a surge of migrants seeking asylum. The administration has implemented what's known as the Remain in Mexico program. In tonight's Eye on America, Omar Villafranca shows us how a shift in U.S. asylum policy is sending hundreds back across the border into legal limbo.
Along the southern border, migrants seeking asylum in the United States are now being told to wait here in Mexico. Migrants like 19-year-old Angel and 29-year-old Jose from Honduras, who are legally seeking asylum in the United States, have been sent back to remain in Mexico to await their hearing. Their attorney asked us to change their names to protect their identity.
I am fleeing because they want to kill me. I am not a thief or a murderer.
They're living in a church with more than 40 other men, women, and children.
Aquí estás tu cama.
Sí. Angel told us that back in Honduras, he was the target of local gangs. He showed us police reports alleging they were under threat.
How can I return to my country when my life is at risk there? That's why I'm trying to get to the U.S., and right here, I'm not safe.
He means Tijuana, one of the most dangerous cities in the Western Hemisphere, more violent than any city in Guatemala, Honduras, or El Salvador. There were more than 2,000 murders in Tijuana. This is a very violent city. Last year, 2 young Honduran migrants were murdered here after leaving a shelter. Mexican officials tell CBS News at least 500 migrants, including families, are among the asylum seekers sent back to Mexico. The Trump administration says they need to expand the Remain in Mexico program because of a dramatic surge in the number of asylum seekers to the U.S., which they say is overwhelming the system. Secretary of Homeland Security Kirstjen Nielsen says it's important for another reason.
They will not be able to disappear into the United States. They will have to wait for approval to come into the United States.
2017 Justice Department numbers show the majority of these migrants did not disappear. Of the more than 43,000 asylum cases processed last year, almost 90% of the applicants showed up to their court hearing. With a backlog of over 800,000 asylum cases now pending in the U.S., Angel and Jose might have to wait in Mexico for months. If the U.S. says you cannot come into the U.S., what are you going to do?
We want to get to the U.S. legally. We don't want to jump walls. If they say no, we have to find another way to get there.
Angel and Jose's American dream is right across the border, but their legal journey is just beginning. Omar Villafranca, CBS News, Tijuana, Mexico.